Greg Goodman welcoming you to episode 172 of Southern Gospel Now. It's your weekly look at the artists and songs of today's Southern Gospel. Our program is made possible by Daywind.com, where you'll find Southern Gospel CDs and soundtracks. Wedding bells rang recently for Kingsman Quartet lead singer Cole Watson. Cole said in a Facebook post, quote, "I got to marry my best friend, the one that God, the creator of all things, handpicked for me and put in my life right when I needed her most. This will forever be my greatest accomplishment," end quote. Our congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Watson, Cole, and Brooklyn. The National Quartet Convention is coming up. NQC Executive Vice President Clark Beasley tells us about one of the exciting things on the calendar for this special week of gospel music.
Wednesday night is our night of hits, and that is something that has garnered a lot of attention and excitement. Only the top artists singing extended sets and only singing their most requested songs.
The National Quartet Convention runs September 22nd through the 28th at the LeConte Center in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. You'll find all of the details at natqc.com. Jason Crabb is no stranger to the Grand Ole Opry stage. He makes frequent appearances. Recently, he invited Autumn Nelon Streetman to perform during his set. Autumn, of course, wowed the crowd with her version of the classic hymn, "How Great Thou Art." No doubt she is making her family proud. Greater Vision just finished work on a project which is coming out October 19th. The title of that project is Your Story. Rodney Griffin gives us a preview.
Our new project is called Your Story. The project title comes from a song that we're bringing back. Was written 20 years ago and appeared on one of our projects. The song is called Your Story, and it's one that I wrote with Chris Binion. We hope that when everyone hears this new project, they will find something to encourage them in their walk with the Lord. We have new songs from Chris Allman, John Epley, co-writers Jonathan C. Smith, Chris Binion, Robin Allman. It's just kind of a collection of the older and the newer, and I can't wait for you to hear it.
Joseph Habedank collaborated with Chris Blue, the winner of Season 12 of the NBC TV show The Voice. Joseph tells us how a fan suggested that the two team up.
I met Chris Blue on the Gaither tour, and I have to tell you, he quickly became not only one of my favorite singers, but one of my favorite people. And this is a true story. I was on a Gaither cruise to the Caribbean. I was sitting on stage with all the Homecoming family when a fan came to the front of the stage and motioned for me. So I went down, and the person said, "Would you ever consider doing a song with Chris Blue?" And I said, "Absolutely, I would." I was like, "He's one of my favorites." I literally went back to my seat. Chris Blue was sitting right behind me. I turned around and said, "Hey, you want to do a song together?" And he said, "Absolutely, let's do it."
The result was Joseph's latest single, Jesus Walked In, featuring Chris Blue, which you are hearing at radio right now. Bill Gaither gives us the story behind the Gaither Vocal Band's current song, Revival Broke Out.
My good buddy Woody Wright and I walk every day, and we've written several songs together. But one day we were walking, and he said, "I've written a song about 10 years ago that I just ran into. Listen to it, see if you like it." And so we listened to it, and I said, "That'll give me a chance to do a little bit of rapping. I've done everything except rapping," so I said, "Let's do it." Plus, it's just a great story. When revival really does break out, it changes not only the person himself, but it changes the family, changes the church, changes the community. It could change the world.
Sometimes Jim and Melissa Brady travel as part of the Gaither Homecoming Friends. Melissa says she treasures the relationships she enjoys with these artists.
I'm just grateful for that homecoming family. It's just one of the most loving, I call them family, right? Because they're friends who become family, and I love every single one of them. Some of my favorite moments are with the girls in the dressing room, the God conversations and the funny stories that happened back there. It was just really great.
The Mylan Hayes family keeps giving Southern Gospel fans great songs, the latest being Come and See. Kennedy Hayes tells us about the tune.
Come and See is a song off of our latest album, Steady and Sure, and it just talks about the resurrection of Jesus Christ and the empty tomb. And wow, where would we be without that? We would have no hope. And the chorus says, come and see the empty tomb, believe, and then go and tell. And that's really what we hope to leave with people every single night that we sing.
It's been a year since Scotty Inman embarked on his journey as a soloist. He says it's quite different from being a part of a quartet.
It's more personal. I think a solo artist is a more personal thing. And I really want to share what God has shown me in my life, and it may help somebody else. Now, I want to sing a lot more than I talk, but I do want, if I have something to say before a song that will really help someone understand what I'm trying to get across, I will share that. I think it only helps people zone in on what you're wanting them to pay attention to. Not that songs need to be set up. I've always heard a great song doesn't need to be set up. And I see what people are saying, but sometimes people need to be reminded to give it a listen. Don't be distracted, and here's what's about to happen.
Jonathan Wilburn has gone back and done some songs that he loved for decades on his latest project, Songs from the Front Pew. He tells us about discovering the song that is his current radio single, Old Blind Bartimaeus.
The first time I heard the song, Blind Bartimaeus, was my friends, the Bishops. Back in the 80s, the Wilburns and the Bishops, we did a lot of traveling together, concerts all over the country. And they would get up each night and sing the a cappella version of that song. I've always just loved it. I love the tune, but more than anything, I love what it says. So Blind Bartimaeus, I don't think the Bishops did it originally, but that's originally where I heard it.
Time for a look at the top Southern Gospel songs of the week from the Power 50 Weekly Chart.
Number 5.
Fall Into Place, Jeff and Sherry Easter.
For everything to fall into place.
Number 4.
You Have Always Been My Shepherd, Legacy 5.
You have always been my shepherd, always been my guide.
Number 3.
He Sent Him for Me, The Inspirations.
You sent him for me.
Number 2.
Your Healing Is on the Way, Greater Vision.
Your healing is on the way.
Number 1.
Be Ready, Karen Peck at New River.
No matter what you say, no matter what you do, be ready, be ready.
That's our report. You can explore all 172 episodes of Southern Gospel Now, wherever you find podcasts, or you can listen at southerngospelnow.com. Southern Gospel Now is made possible in part by southerngospelprizes.com, where you can register for a Caribbean cruise with Right Road Quartet. All of the details and registration at southerngospelprizes.com. I'm Greg Goodman. Thank you for joining me. Love your neighbor. And I'll see you back here soon with more Southern Gospel news on Southern Gospel Now.